This prophecy concerns the division of Nigeria. And I saw in the spirit, Nigeria divided into 5 nations. The word of the Lord of hosts came to me. Now the second time. And I saw war in Nigeria. And in the midst of the war, the military took over the government. And the military convened a sovereign national conference in a hurry. And Nigeria was divided into 5 republics, namely Biafra Republic, South Republic, Oduduwa Republic, Northeast Republic, and Northwest Republic, except North Central that couldn't stand as a republic. Some of them joined the North, while some of them joined the Oduduwa Republic. And all this happened in the presence of many world presidents or leaders that were suggesting a way out of the war. And I first published this prophecy on the Daily Sun newspaper on the 12th August 2014, page 31. Let Nigerians pray very hard against the heavy war that is at the door now. He that has ear, let him hear what the Spirit of God is saying. And where there is no prophet, the people perish. This is the word of the Lord that came to me. May the word of the Lord be blessed. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Mark my word. I am seeing Yoruba separate, Biafra separate, Arewa separate. Separate. It's coming. It will happen soon. Separate. Separate.
We all know that we must restructure. I mean, it's either we restructure or we break. That means they say you don't have to be a prophet to know that one. That is certain to come. Restructure or break up.
I asked Allah, I said Allah to share Nigeria into 4. Allah share Nigeria into 4. Let's everybody relax. We don't have any time. We are killing everybody. If Habinda, what happened in Edo State, if it happened in northern Nigeria, it happened that they kill Igbo people or they kill any southerner, the story will be different. The story will be different. You know, Igbo people with propaganda. Small time they say Muslims are killing Christians. It happened that it happened in the north side. I have one of my video that my previous video that I said about that it can't happen really. You understand? So we don't want any issue. May Allah, I say God, may God share Nigeria into 4 parts. May you give your Biafra 5 plot of your land. You carry JJ, go. We don't get issue with you. Niger Delta, you get oil, get resources. May God give you your own creek. Carry your creek, go. JJ, no fight. Yoruba people, Allah don't give you blessing of sea. You have seaport, you have resources. Carry your resources, alhamdulillah. Carry them, JJJ, go without sharing of blood. Very simple. We are deceiving ourselves every time. One Nigerians, but we are not once for our minds. Just take a good look at what happened in Nigeria. It have been that what happened recently in Edo State, it happened in the north side. The story will be different. Even channel television cannot allow to rest. Social media everywhere. But now if it happened with Hausa people, they look like people are taking them like animals. I see some people are doing propaganda, is carrying another bandage pictures, another country pictures are posting and saying that, see, Northern, where are they carrying for AK-47 to go this? You see what happened? You, Northern, you have lands, you have land to farm, you have gold, you have oil. We, Northern, we have oil. We have oil as Niger Delta have. So where are we looking? Everybody carries on self, JJ, and go. Share without blood. We can share the country without blood. It happened during Jonathan. They did it in House of Assembly. They did not succeed. But inshallah, now let's do it by ourselves. Just let's do it generalizing, not sharing of blood. Let's share the country. Everybody will stay peace. Everybody will stay peace. If I'm going to Lagos and I'm going to another country, I will follow their rules. If they are coming to my side, they know they are going to another country. They follow their side. Everybody is very simple. All is West Africa.
Let's tell ourselves the truth now, at least for once. See, I'm going to speak and a lot of people will think I'm speaking like a Biafrano, but no, I want us to reason like analytical human beings. The fact is the division of Nigeria with all the indications on ground so far is inevitable. The division of Nigeria is inevitable without implementing the regional system of government. Okay, let's look at the indicators. Number 1, the fact is, the issue of national insecurity at the moment happens to be majorly a northern problem, right? You quite agree with me on that. And in that regards now, any government of the day, any president at the moment that is not of the northern descent or northern origin that tries to fix that, if he's hoping to come for a second tenure, I bet you he can't succeed in that. You quite agree with me, right? And this is what I mean by that. Okay. In addressing, considering bringing into view now what happened recently in Benue, just the normal issue of farmers herders clashes as they call it, right? Okay. In fixing this kind of situations, now forget about the deployment of military, police, whatever the president coming to visit. You quite agree with me that that doesn't solve anything and it's not going to solve anything. The only thing that will solve that to some certain extent is we having a situation where there is ranches established for herders, right? That is to say, the herders must be in tune with changing times. Because you quite agree with me, there is no developed country you go to in this world today that you'll find a situation where animals wander all around. There is none. You can never find any developed country of that nature. But in so doing now, if the president of the day tries to enforce that, it's going to be rejected by the northerners to some certain extent, evidently clear even in the past, right? Considering the fact that these people are citizens or whatever, they are nomadic in nature, right? That has always been the conversation. They are nomadic in nature. So they move from places to places. And the fact is, I don't know where we're actually getting this. Okay, if you say you are nomadic in nature, how do you expect the government to account for you? Have you ever seen a country where you have citizens being nomadic in nature and the government can account for them and make budget for? So you see, the fact is, the herders must be in tune with changing times, but they are not ready for that. And even the politicians are not ready to have that conversation. Let's look at the issue of dialogue. We need to preach dialogue. We need to be accommodating. There's enough to share, according to Tinubu. But looking at it, you quite agree with me that as far as this life, this nature is concerned now, people have metamorphosized over time, which is the fact that people no more just live because they want to embrace each other in love and peace and harmony. There are two things that guide and regulate the conduct of humanity. One, adequate enforcement of the law. Even in developed countries. That is to say, you know that when you do this, this will happen. You must reap for it. You will go in for it. That makes people behave to some certain extent. Another thing that guides people's conduct is the fact that they must be subordinate and superior. Right? That is to say, in anywhere I live for there to be peace, is either they must be, you are the senior, I am the junior. So you know that when you try me, I will finish you, and me that knows that you are more powerful than me, I will not try you. Those are the things that keeps people in check. But if you think that we're going to sit down and be in as much as we desire one Nigeria, we want to preach and we want to be all accommodating, we believe we're stronger together. But it's not the preaching of peace and love or whatever that keeps people together. These two indications are what keeps people together. And you quite agree with me to some certain extent. The two is missing. There is no adequate enforcement of laws. We are under-policed. Even the armed forces is overwhelmed. And a lot of other things. So what will keep people in check? So what we are fighting for at the moment is a situation where who is more powerful? Is it me, the Fulani man? Is it me, the Yoruba man? Is it me, the Igbo man? Or is it me, the Hausa man? The fact is, that must be sorted out. When it's sorted out, now everybody will know his position and people now will just decide to keep quiet and whatever. Looking at it, when you now introduce our religious extremism in all aspects as well, that is evident in the country. You have a lot of radical Muslims, radical Christians who are not ready to tolerate each other. The only thing that will make us tolerate each other, let's tell ourselves the truth, is the full implementation of the law and the adequate protection of the vulnerable. That is just it. And all these things are missing. So, how do you tell me we are not going to divide? And the fact is, looking at it now, Tinubu will not dare go that way. Right? Because by the time he tries to introduce that, okay, there must be establishment of ranches to curtail the free movement of the Fulanis, you quite agree with me that he is going to lose a lot of... the fact is he's already losing at the same time as far as the North is concerned at the moment. And that is what will even bring the division closer in that regards. In the sense that Tinubu doesn't look like somebody that is ready to let go of the fact that this 8 years is his birthright. And at the same time, the Northerners are not ready to give it to him. So when you have a clash of the titans, Abi, that is what I refer to this 2027. Forget about this defection. Clash of the titans is going to definitely give birth to something. So, with all these indications on ground, my brother, the issue of one Nigeria, we are going to get better, will remain nothing but a delusion, seriously. We're going to talk more in this regards.
What it means is that we are not united. We are still what Chief Obafemi Awolowo once called a piece of geographical expression. Ahmadu Bello once said it was a piece of historical mistake. Because we were cobbled together on 1st January 2014 by Lord Lugard, the Southern and Northern Confederates, and the Lagos colony. After Nigeria had been given her name by a young British author who wrote in the London Financial Times of 8th January 1897, calling it Nigeria, that Niger area. That is first major problem. In other words, we were cobbled together through the direct and indirect rule system that we were operating, with all of us already enjoying our independence. The Benin Empire, the Oyo Empire, the Kanem-Borno Empire, the ancient Ife. We were already independent, having our own systems of government, and we were happy. Jaja Fopobo, Nana Ofichekire, Oba of Baramino Baise of Benin, who beat the British back with bare knuckles, for which he was deported to Calabar, where he lived and died 27 years later. So such people that were already used to their independence and ways of life, to put them together and say they cannot now discuss their future.
Is it the reason for the agitation we see in Nigeria? The idea of lack of nationhood.
In fact, it is the beginning and the end of it. I can assure you that you were talking about 3 problems. I identified that one major problem. If you don't have nationhood and nobody believes in Nigeria as a country, if I ask you, Shehu, where are you from? You won't say I'm in Nigeria. You first quickly mention your village and then your state. Then you are filling a form. After asking you for your name, the next question is place of origin. You put it town, they say local government. You put it, they say state. You put it, then they say religion. You are already being typified. You are already being profiled to know whether what we want here can come to you or not come to you.
But how do we resolve this? Because either we like it, you are an Ozekome.
Yeah.
You have your origin.
Yes.
You are of the Edo origin.
Yes.
And if you want to drill down, you can tell who your forefathers are.
Yeah.
I am on Okimbaloye, and I can also tell who my forefathers are.
Yeah.
But can we take away the fact that we are different tongues? Our tongues differ.
No.
And our presidents who have constituted conferences, at least two of the presidents have said, You can have every conversation, but the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. The former President Goodluck Jonathan said as much. In those kind of conversations, the fear of disintegration and some people wanting to exit the nation might start, don't you think?
Now, I tell you, I am not saying every Nigerian should now be the same person. In fact, I've always argued, and I'm on record to say that of Professor Onigu Otite's 374 ethnic groups in Nigeria, through his demographic survey, he was a great sociologist that speak over 380 languages. Each of them must have a place and be respected in where he comes from. But when you want to roughing it over others, for example, like former President Buhari calling a whole ethnic group, one of the 3 largest ethnic groups, the Igbos, Southeast, as a dot in the cycle. What will you call me? A minority within a minority from Ijukwe, near Agenebode, East local government area of Edo State. What are you going to call me? But in America, for example, they first ask you, what's your name? You tell them. They say, where are you from? We ask you, what do you mean? You mean where I work? Or where I schooled? Or where I live now? Or where I was born? Because each of them would have been different. But they regard themselves as Americans. So they have what you call faith in their country. We do not have faith in our country. How do we do that? That is why when you go around on a Sunday, tomorrow is Sunday, today is Sunday. If you are go around, you will see different town unions. Where will you see a Nigerian union holding a meeting? So it's like the Bible. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added. If we get it right constitutionally, because the present foundations are fundamentally damaged, they are damaged. I give you an example, Sean. If you have a house that the walls are cracking, how do you repair the walls? Do you go to the walls, you take a hammer, you begin to chisel it with a chisel, right? Then you get cement, mortar, you call it bricklayer. I say, help me patch this wall. He patches it. In 1 or 2 months' time, more chaos, more gullies, more cracks appear on the wall. You have to look for the cause of that wall. You discover that there's a big tree in your compound whose trees have sprouted. They have become so big that they have gone towards the foundation of the house, and is what is actually threatening it to fall. What do you do to that tree? You don't go to the tree and cut off the branches, because the branches will grow anyway again, and the walls will continue to crack. You go to the tree, to the roots, uproot it. So,
you see, when we begin to talk about Nigeria from the year 2060, the first question that a mathematician will want to ask is, one, are we sure there will be Nigeria in the year 2060? In other words, you're talking about something that you are not 100% sure will be there at the time you are talking about it. You see, because before we can begin to discuss Nigeria of 2060, we need to address the problems that we have right now. That if these problems are not solved, then this will be just an academic exercise. Not that I don't enjoy the exercise, I mean, it's very refreshing. But you see, I think on one of the occasions when I was on a long flight from London to Singapore, a journey of about 13 hours or something. After you've eaten and you slept and you woke up and then discover you still have some 7 hours to go, definitely you have time to fool around a little bit. And then I was thinking about Nigeria. And I have these thoughts within myself, which I think I will just share with you. By the time I finish sharing it, you are likely to consider it a joke from a mathematician, because after all, mathematicians can be eccentric at times. I just felt that why can't we have a system of government that is 100% Nigeria, unique to us? For example, we started off with the British system of government. Somewhere along the line, we moved over to the American system of government. Now, I was just wondering, can't we have a combination of both and see whether it could help us solve a problem? See, because in mathematics, if you want to solve a problem and you try what we call real analysis and it doesn't work, then you move on to complex analysis and see if that will help you. If that fails, you move on to vector analysis and so on. I believe that probably we might need to look at the problem of Nigeria in a slightly different manner. You see, because some people feel that all our problems will be over if Nigeria should break up. I think that is trying to solve the problem of Nigeria as if it's a simple equation problem. The problems of Nigeria will require quite a bit of simultaneous equations, and some of them are not going to be linear either. Forgive me, I'm talking as a mathematician. So I was thinking, why can't we, for example, have a system of government that will create a kind of what I would call United States of Nigeria? Let me explain. We all know that we must restructure. I mean, it's either we restructure or we break. That means say you don't have to be a prophet to know that one. That is certain to come. Restructure or break up. Now, we don't want to break up. I mean, God forbid. In restructuring, why don't we have, like I said, a Nigerian kind of democracy? At the federal level, for example, why don't we have a president and a prime minister? What do you mean? Well, if we have a president and a prime minister, and we share responsibilities between these two, so that one is not an appendage of the other. For example, if the president controls the army and the prime minister controls the police, if the president controls, shall we say, resources like oil and mining, and the prime minister controls finance and inland revenue, taxes and customs, etc., etc. You just divide responsibilities between the two, and then you come to the state level. And at the state level, you have the governor and you have the premier. And again, you distribute responsibilities between these people in such a manner that one cannot really go all alone without the other. Maybe this is just a mathematical suggestion, and the mathematician can be eccentric, like I've said. Maybe we might begin to tackle the problem. And if we're going to adopt this model, which you eminent personalities will be able to talk about, I think then we will need urgently to restore what we used to call the House of Chiefs. I have a feeling that one of our major problems is that we have pushed the traditional rulers to the background. And I believe that's a great error, particularly for a country like Nigeria. You see, I find it very ridiculous that one will ask a traditional ruler to inform the chairman of his local government before he travels. Go to any town in Nigeria. Everybody in the town knows who is the paramount ruler, and they respect him. Many of them don't even know the name of the chairman of their local government. The traditional rulers are the actual landlords. They control the respect of their people. Their people will listen to them much more than, I'm sorry to say, they will listen to some politicians. And so just like they have, say, the House of Lords in Britain, why can't we have the House of Chiefs? We might expand it and include in that House of Chiefs, as they do in Britain, include some religious leaders, bishops. I'm not a bishop, I'm a pastor, so don't think I'm including myself. Bishops, chief imams, and so on and so on. These are people who can shape the opinions of the people. I'm just putting that one as a little presentation to those of you who can think about it. Maybe it will help us to get Nigeria going. And then, without any doubt, we must restructure and do it as soon as possible. A United States of Nigeria is likely to survive much more than our present structure.
Mark my word, I am seeing Yoruba separate, Biafra separate, Arewa separate. Separate. It's coming. It will happen soon. Separate. Separate.
I believe we heard what the servant of the Most High has to say concerning our beloved nation, Nigeria, concerning everything that is happening in Nigeria currently. And I want us to treat this particular prophecy with a lot of care. I want us to seek the face of God in place of prayer. You may think that the situation of things in Nigeria right now, it is ordinary, or you may think that, well, it doesn't concern you because we have bad leaders or because our politicians are heartless. That is the reason why these things are happening. One thing I want you to look at is that some of these things are spiritual. Some of these things are not ordinary. Sometimes a politician may decide to say, okay, if I'm being elected into office, this is what I'm going to do. Just like the promises they will start making to us in a couple of months from now. As you all know, 2027 is just around the corner, and a lot of those politicians are going to brainwash us in a way that they'll start telling us things they're going to do for us. They're going to build houses for each Nigerians, and this is how they are going to do it. This is their budget, this is their plan. But the truth is that it is not like that. See, they say all that glitters are not gold, and we have been hearing a lot of prophecies from different men of God on this platform. I've been sharing prophecies of Pastor Mike Miracle, Joshua Igila, Joel Ogebe, Papa E.A. Adeboye, A lot of them have been giving prophecies, Prophet Gilbert Angel, a whole lot. If I want to start mentioning, we won't live here today. And why I share these particular prophecies on those platforms is to create awareness, is to tell you that God speaks, and when God speaks, it comes to pass ASAP. It's just for us to attend to it in place of prayer. It's just for us to do what is necessary. It's just for us to embrace these things with prayer. It's not everything that you take it for granted. It's not everything that you start doubting, oh, it will not happen, it will happen, is this, is that. See, a lot is happening in this country, a lot that if you and I have made up our mind and say that, okay, this is how we're going to do things, this is how we're going to implement these changes across Nigeria, see, Nigeria will become a better place. I know that there have been a lot of injustice happening in Nigeria in terms of the killing, the Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, bandits. There was a video that was making rounds on social media a couple of days ago when I came across an Igbo community that was bantered. Like, individuals were wasted, their life were wasted like what I don't know. I just don't want to say some certain type of words in this particular video, but lives were wasted as if it was nothing. And then these people decided to retaliate. They went to where these people that rear cattle, these herdsmen, and they start firing shots on their livestock. So make it make sense that if everybody intend to turn into violence, or everybody decides to say, okay, let's take matter into our hand, this country, this nation, this land is going to bleed out blood that we cannot handle. So please, when they say pray for Nigeria, don't take it for granted. When they say intercede for this country, don't take it for granted, you get, because these things are happening. And each time I share prophecies on this platform, I will always tell you that, oh, pray for Nigeria, pray for this country, pray for this beloved nation, because these things are not ordinary. I believe that a lot of prophecies have been given concerning erosion, concerning this, concerning that. Some people come across it and they take it for granted. They feel like saying, oh, it is just prophet now. They have come, they have started. I saw a comment in one of my videos when a particular person says that, oh, maybe all these prophet, they don't start again. Election just there around the corner. Tomorrow they will come say this one, say that one, say tomorrow if it is not Mazen Dikalu to be released, tomorrow if it's not someone Ekpa to be arrested, tomorrow if it's not to apprehend the people that did the massacre in Benue State. Like, I was like, God have mercy on them. See, sometimes you don't even know what you're saying. Sometimes you don't even understand what happens or transpire in the realm of the spirit before it manifested in the realm of the physical. So there are a lot of things that I want us to embrace. There are a lot of things that I want us to handle it with care. It's like a baby, it's like an egg. So it's high time that we handle these things with love, and the only way we can extend that type of love is to start loving ourselves, loving our neighbor. Then it starts for us to apply this caution when they say pray, 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 pray. Some people will say, oh, Peter Obi will not see that seat of presidency because he's an Igbo man. Peter Obi is not capable, he's a weakling, he's that. Some people even use Peter Obi to cash out. Some people use Peter Obi to gain influence in the in political sector in Nigeria. Some people were recognized not because of their outing skill, not because they were barrister, they won a lot of cases or anything. It was because of Peter Obi. Some people want to make themselves relevant in communities, in political office, in normal offices, just because they want to associate because they associated themselves with Peter Obi in 2023. And you see, one thing I want you to know is that, see, rain comes sunshine, people will still support Peter Obi, because when he was a governor in his state, he did a lot. Remember how much he left in the governor post when he left office that year. I don't need a Susaya to come and tell you. And he didn't even finish his 4 years, or his 4 years elapsed. No, he was impeached, you get. So this is somebody that has said that, okay, this is my plan and this is how I'm going to carry it out. And if I could get the support from every Nigerian out there, we will make this country a better place. Peter Obi is not preaching to you that he's going to make Nigeria a better place for you and I to live overnight. No, he says it's a gradual process, and this is how we are going to work towards it. If he is a good leader, and then after he finishes his era or his tenure, another person comes over and take over, and then that person is able to maintain that same principle, don't you think by the time we have 1 or 2 or 3 presidents, Nigeria will become a better place for you and I to stay? A lot of us are running to all these Asian countries for a better job, for a better life. How much are they paying? Some people are going there to do boy. Some people are going there to do domestic work. You want to go to Europe, you want to go to this, you want to pass this Sahara Desert, you want to go through all those stress. Some people don't even survive it. You go through torture, you go through all kinds of things that are unspeakable to man. You get, then when you reach there, you make that money, you still want to come back to Nigeria. You go tell yourself, say, no place like home. You get. So all these things we are doing, we are saying, is for us to join our hands together in place of prayer and pray for this country to become a better place. Pray for this country to be one of the nation after God's heart. Pray for this country to be a better place for you and I, so that we can raise our children. You get. Let's pray for good leader that will not just come and make empty promises, leader that will not just come and just say a whole lot of things. So I don't know why people are. This is what I want us to do. In this case, I want us to pray for this country. Don't take things as if it's by heart or it's by chance. When you see prophecies like this, the best thing to do is to pray. The best thing to do is to commit this nation into God's hand. It's not to come here and doubt who is real, who is giving a real prophecy, who is, if your daddy Dio is giving a prophecy or says something, I don't think you are going to doubt or contest with that particular prophecy. You're going to run with it, you're going to walk with it. But if it is a pastor that you don't know, you take it for granted. I remember what happened in some few countries when helicopter crashes. These men of God saw it and they gave prophecy and they asked them to pray, intercede, but they will not do it. You get. So please, I'm urging you, this particular prophecy you're listening from this great man of God, please, I urge you to take it serious. I urge you to please walk with it in place of prayer. Stand for Nigeria in place of prayer. Don't take a lot of things for granted. Don't feel like it's not going to happen. Don't feel like, oh, it is just a mere talk from a mere human being. No, these people are men of God, not just men of God. It's not every pastor out there or that can give prophecy. These people are called prophets and prophetess. So please, as you're hearing this particular video, please, I want you to walk with it in a way that it's work with it. I don't even know what to say at this point, but to say that please, let's pray for Nigeria. If you see something that will benefit this country and you are not doing it, who are you better than Tinubu that you are complaining of? Are you better than the president that have gone, the one that have seats and the one that are yet to come that will not do good for this country? If we don't take care, if we don't pray, will you tell me that me and you are better? I've created this platform to be able to promote these things so that people can benefit from it. I've created this platform so that people can enrich themselves in different way, in different area and in different categories. So that is what I just say. Let me come here and share with you guys. Before I go, please subscribe, comment, like, share, and also don't forget to turn on the post notification bell to get notified so that whenever we upload any video, you'll be the first to be notified easily. And if you're a returning subscriber, I want to say a very big thank you. Thank you for always tuning in and thank you for always watching our video. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one shortly. Bye for now, guys.